Hey guys, it's Becky with the good hair, and I made a video a few months ago ranting about JoyAnn Reid because she likes to get on Twitter and say questionable things sometimes. She loves to Bernie bash, she loves to bash progressives in general, and she tweeted a couple days ago something that is really concerning, and to me it just makes it seem like the whole resistance effort is a complete joke. So I'm gonna read what she tweeted and then we'll get into the rant. So JoyAnn said, "Whatever disagreements one might have with the Bushes, theirs was a more dignified version of the Republican Party. It's hard to imagine them suborning the infiltration of torch-bearing neo-Nazis and nativists under their watch, let alone the myriad Trumpian sex scandals." Let that sink in for a hot second. So JoyAnn Reid is literally saying that George W. Bush's administration was more dignified. And she seems to think that it was more dignified because there weren't any sex scandals and there weren't neo-Nazis in the streets. So you think simply because of that, George W. Bush and his administration was dignified? Sit down. JoyAnn Reid, please sit down. Okay, we are still in Iraq and we shouldn't have gone there in the first place. Who do we have to blame for that? It was George W. Bush. Hello, wake up. He is a war criminal. He is a war criminal. During his administration, he was also a homophobe, so keep that in mind. He was extremely against gay rights. He was totally backwards and right-wing. His whole administration was a bunch of war hawks. I cannot believe that someone who claims that she's liberal would say this. It's a joke. You're honestly cheerleading the Bushes just because, oh, Trump is worse. So, to put it in perspective, in my opinion, Trump is basically the Republican id. He is everything the Republicans have always stood for, and he just puts it out there in broad daylight. All the things that the Bushes may not have said in the way that Trump says them, they still felt the things he feels. They're just careful, more careful in the way they word things. They're more politically correct, and they camouflage their true beliefs in fancy, flowery language. Trump just puts it all out there. So, you honestly think that the Bushes and the Trumps are so different? Trump is more brash and rude and disgusting, and there are neo-Nazis in the streets, but you honestly think that because of that and because there's sex scandals? By the way, we had another president who had sex scandals, and it wasn't Bush. Hint, hint, it was Clinton. He was a Democrat. So I don't know why you're bringing up sex scandals when Clinton had sex scandals. That's kind of a moot point. But you honestly think that Trump is so different? Just because he has sex scandals or there are neo-Nazis in the streets, you think that equates to the Bushes being dignified? No. No. Just because Trump is bad doesn't mean Bush good. You don't have to have this black and white thinking. Black and white thinking is where you get yourself into trouble, and it's where you come up with these ideas that are just false. Just because someone is bad doesn't mean someone else is good. Bush can still be bad while Trump is bad. That doesn't mean that, oh, the Iraq war is a good idea now. Bush was an amazing president now because Trump is bad. No. That's simplistic, that's inaccurate, it's black and white thinking, and it's wrong. And you think that you're part of the resistance? Excuse me, what are you resisting? You're not really resisting Trump. You're not resisting Republicans because you're cheerleading them right now in this tweet. You're literally cheerleading them. You're calling the Bushes dignified. That you're not resisting anything. You're resisting real progress. You're resisting everyday Americans who have a brain. You're resisting logic. You're not resisting anything but logic, to be honest. You're resisting change. You just don't want progressives in power because you feel like that's going to have an effect on you, and you don't want that. You're comfortable where you are, and you don't want progressives to be in power because you think, what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to me and my establishment media career, my opinions? What's going to happen? And you don't want that. So you're cheerleading the Bushes to try to hold on to that power. And that's scary. So you're just being disingenuous. You gotta stop pretending you're the resistance. You're not resisting Trump. You don't want progressives in power. The only thing you want is establishments in power. Doesn't matter if it's Republicans, doesn't matter if it's an establishment Democrat. You're literally going to praise a war criminal, a homophobe, a moron, just because you think that Trump is worse when he's a Republican id. I mean, he's a nightmare, he's a psycho, but that doesn't make Bush good because of that. You're making a mockery of the resistance, so congratulations for that, I guess. Everyone can see who you really are. You're not progressive by any means. You're not, honestly, even liberal. You sound like a flat-out Republican by praising the Bush's administration. So you need to just sit down. You're done. I'll see you guys in my next video. I'll put links down below to this tweet and a link to my previous video ranting about JoyAnn Reid, so you can check that out if you didn't see it. And come follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll put links to that down below. Check out my blog, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.